So have you ever wondered why you keep putting things off, whether it's schoolwork, business work, or other important things that you know you have to get done? Well, I know I did because during my time as a college student, there were so many like big essays, big projects, big tests that I would just continuously procrastinate. And it wasn't even just, procrastinating for the sake. I knew I had to do the work. I knew I had to study, but I consistently chose not to do them. I consistently chose to put them off over and over and over again. And then when it came to starting up my business, I did the same thing. I knew I had work to get done, but I continuously put it off and put it off and put it off. And I knew I had to do it if I wanted results. I had to work, but I continuously chose not to. And so I just kind of wanted to go over why I feel we procrastinate so often and how can we potentially prevent that, because procrastination is, I would say, something that is seen as such a big issue, which is true, but it's more of like a mental and psychological thing over something that is like impossibly difficult to overcome. It takes effort, I will definitely say, but can be done. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Aquino and help teach the next generation. So procrastination is pretty simple to explain if you don't know what it is. You just delay tasks despite knowing that you have to do them, even knowing that there are negative consequences. So if I said, okay, so you know what? I have this big essay due and I just don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. I know in my head, okay, if I don't do it, I'm going to fucking fail. But my brain perceives as like, we can do it later. It's fine. We don't have to do it now. But what some people may confuse it with is laziness and another thing called strategic delay, where you prioritize different things based on how necessary they are. So I know there have been times where people have called me out and said, aren't you supposed to be doing that thing right now? And it's like, you are correct, but something literally just came up and it has to get done like right now or shit's gonna hit the fan. So there have been times like that. So you want to be able to make sure you differentiate the two. And then laziness is the other one that people confuse it with. And I know I used to confuse it as well. But when you kind of understand what the key core difference is, it definitely makes sense. So when you procrastinate, you actively decide to not do the work. When you're lazy, you passively decide. There have been, I know, times when I was burnt out, exhausted. There were times where I wanted to do the work so bad, but I either physically, mentally, psychologically, you name it, I just couldn't bring myself to do it whatsoever because I was done. I was burnt. I was gone. So I didn't do the work. Not because I didn't want to, because I actively wanted to, but I just couldn't. Whereas procrastination would be if currently I'm healthy, I'm doing mentally fine, like I'm physically all right, but I still chose to not record these videos, or I still chose to not do the business work. That would be procrastination. So there's a difference there where you choose to procrastinate versus you can't do any of the work. So this all kind of comes down to your brain's fault. It's your brain's fault, and it's kind of dumb that it is, but it's just the way that your brain perceives threats. Well, your brain perceives maybe your school assignment or your business task as a big of a threat compared to a bear attack or a shark attack or anything along those lines. It just sees it as stressful or threatening, and it wants to make sure and protect you from it. And it's understandable. I want my brain to protect me from stupid shit. But it's an essay. It's not going to kill me. But your brain will see it as like, dude, oh my God, oh shit, oh man. No, we're not doing this. And it's just how it works. It kind of triggers that like fight or flight response from your brain as well. And for the most part, it chooses flight because it doesn't want to put you in danger and it wants to make sure you're protected in a way. But you have to get it done, but your brain refuses to allow you to do the work, which is, kind of shitty. Thanks, brain. But also, can I do the work? No, you can't. Kind of frustrating when you think about it that way. It's kind of that manner where it's like, hey, we want to do this thing, and your brain tells you, nah, you're not doing that. But I need to. Nah, that sucks. No, that is big scary. And at that moment, you have to decide whether you're gonna choose to listen to the brain or you're gonna actually do the work, which is very difficult for a lot of people, including me sometimes, dude. There have been times where I'm like, I really don't want to do this work, and brain, I'm gonna listen to you for once. kind of that thing. So the ways that I've been able to kind of overcome this procrastination in a way is kind of breaking down to 3 simple things that you can implement as well. Where I feel like the biggest one was just breaking down the overall project, essay, study, whatever it is, break it down into smaller, more achievable tasks. Where I know that's the example I keep using is the essay, where if you have a 30-page essay, don't be an idiot like I have been and do the essay the day before and write 30 pages. It's going to suck. It's going to be miserable. You're going to hate yourself for the next couple of days to recover, and you're probably going to get like a D. I would know because I did that, and I got the lowest passing grade possible. So that went well. But if you do a page a day over the span of a month, now that seems more manageable. Now your brain doesn't register it as, oh shit, we have a 30-page essay. Let's not do it until literally the last moment. Where it's like, oh, okay, a page, that's manageable, that's doable. Let's lock that page out. And you do that over the span of, the 30 days, and boom, you got a 30-page essay done with very minimal stress. Like, that's just an easy example. There's obviously different ways to do it, whether it's your business, your entrepreneurial goals, your school, whatever it may be. If you can break it down, and your brain will hopefully register it as a more minor threat compared to this big gargantuan thing. Following this, you want to kind of, when you decide to start to work, you want to try and minimize your overall distractions so that you can actually 100% focus on the thing that you need to get done. So I know when I first kind of started learning how to avoid procrastination, one of the last things that I did was kind of remove stuff from my view. So when I work, I nowadays just have the monitor and everything that I need, and like that's it. But when I used to work at my other place, everything was just kind of everywhere, with shit just kind of everywhere, and the room was just dirty, and it would distract me and I would think about it, which would take away from the work. So when I cleaned up the room, cleaned up my area, and kind of put myself in, it's like, all right, we have to get this done. Nothing else can really distract me. I just have to finish this, and then we're good, and we can enjoy the rest of our life. That kind of definitely helped. You can also use, time blocking and calendar and all that stuff to kind of do it. But as long as you minimize, I feel, your physical distractions, and maybe digital as well, if you want to go even further to make sure you do the work, that'll also work, and it shouldn't be an issue. But I think what a lot of people don't do is they don't use self-compassion, because procrastination is something that everyone, doesn't matter what like level you are, whether you're completely new to time management or procrastination avoidance, or you're really high up with time management mastery and all that stuff. Time to time, you will procrastinate. Time to time, you will continue to put stuff off. I know I did. I have put off recording for, I think, a week now. And that's because I just chose not to record. So we're not all infallible. You have to be able to be man enough or woman enough or whatever to go, man, I really should have done this a little earlier. And I'm going to try to do the best I can to not do this next time. Try to avoid it, because don't beat yourself up, pretty much. Just give yourself credit, say, all right, cool. I messed up, procrastinated. This is what I get. I want to make sure that this doesn't happen, and do my best to make sure it doesn't happen again, and go from there. So overall, procrastination is something that we all go through. It's not an uncommon challenge, but as long as you continue to put effort into it, break down the task, and understand why it occurs, you should be able to slowly but surely overcome procrastination, because it is a very big, in my opinion, time waster. And it probably ranks in the top 3 time wasters overall, in my opinion. And it was kind of the biggest factor for me not truly achieving like time freedom and such. But once you complete it, get over it, and at least have a very high level understanding of procrastination and understanding of how to deal with it, you kind of get your time back, and it's very, very nice in the long run. So if you would like to learn more on how to achieve total time freedom, there's a link down below, and check it out.